Hello soul searchers, and welcome back to my channel where we use tarot to gain better insight into ourselves and the world around us. So today we are doing a trash can reading, and this is basically an idea I got from my fiance's family. It's a game called Trash Can, and normally there would be 20 cards. It would be 10 for one player, 10 for another player. For the purposes of this video, we are basically only doing 10. And I'm basically going to play Trash Can by myself really quick just to figure out what it is that we're keeping and what it is that we are throwing away at this time. You could either use this as confirmation. You could use this as something that helps you set your intentions during the next new moon or full moon. Or you could just watch it for entertainment, of course. However you want to use this, feel free. So I'm going to... Alright, by the way, I am using Tarot Landscapes, which looks like this. I did an entire flip through for this, so feel free to check that out. It will be linked in the top right if you do want to see that. Anyway, the way we get started is with the bottom of the deck. So I am going to flip this over, and we have Ace of Wands. So what I'm really looking at here is the number. It's number 1, so we're going to flip over the 1. 5, we are going to, wait, sorry. I'm going to take this 1, move this over here. 5, sorry. I'm going to take the 5. And then we have 6. We are going in order. This is a Knight, so Knight would be like 12. I don't know. I feel like it's just easier if I stick to the OG rules. So what I'm going to do... See, but then we would never have these here. Knight of Swords. Knight would technically be card 12 if that were a thing. And 1 plus 2 is 3. So I'm going to move this to 3. We have another 6. So now we get to choose if we want 6 of Pentacles or 6 of Swords. I am actually going to stick with 6 of Swords here. Alright, underneath the deck we have 2 of Wands now. So I'm going to take this. I'm only going to do this one more time. So between 5 of Wands and 5 of Pentacles, I would rather keep the 5 of Wands. I promise you I'm going to read these here in a moment. And then now at the bottom of the deck we have the 3 of Wands. Between 3 of Wands and Knight of Swords, that is a hard one. Honestly, however you flip this one, we're kind of at a stalemate. Like, this is basically where we end. So this is kind of just figuring out which one I want on the bottom. And I'm going to do 3. Normally in Trash Can, whoever gets all of these flipped over first wins, but again, for the purposes of this reading, no. So what we are keeping, we have Ace of Wands, 2 of Wands, Knight of Swords, 5 of Wands, and 6 of Swords. A lot of Wands and Swords, my friends. And then we have 3 of Wands at the bottom. I will talk about what we're getting rid of here in a moment. So maybe I'll add a timestamp because this might get a little lengthy just because of how many cards we have. So this is more so for setting intentions as far as what we're keeping. The other part is what we're getting rid of. So a lot of Wands and a lot of Swords. Wands is fire, talks about inspiration, passion, energy, action, a lot of movement. Swords talks about the mind, communication, sometimes technology. And both are the fastest moving suits in tarot. So whatever energy is here, whatever we're keeping, it's very fast paced. 3 of Wands at the bottom talks all about horizons. And specifically how seeing 444 on the camera, specifically how like everywhere you've been has led you to this moment. And I'm kind of even thinking about the way that I came into contact with this sort of spread. It was literally, like I said, through my fiance's family. and this being a game that they played. And then even thinking about that, like, who first created this game? You know, who first created Trashcan to where I can now be here doing a Trashcan tarot spread? So it's all about horizons and like all of these things that lead us to being right where we are at this given moment, and like all of the places we can go from where we are right now. So like honestly, it's pretty positive energy here. Ace of Wands, I love that the light is shining right on this Ace of Wands. Like I said, that talks all about new inspiration, new ideas, new passions, new interests, things like that. Just whatever it is, it's very new, very fresh. It's interesting because I'm noticing, I mean, I've noticed it, but I'm really being called to call out how this is a tree trunk. And what is it called? The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein, I think. That's a kid's book that kind of just came to my mind. But this, the fact that this is a tree trunk is really interesting because, of course, a tree, when they're big, especially when they're this wide around, they're old. And you can even see that in the little circles here. That's how you can like age a tree, in case you didn't know. I'm pretty sure everybody knew that though. This is how you get the tree's age. And so you can tell that this was a pretty old tree just because of how many circles are here. And then, which means it probably got very tall, but then somebody would have chopped it down, and that could obviously be like a negative thing. That could be a very hard thing to deal with, especially for the tree. But the new energy is that it can now be used as a seat. It's interesting that the Giving Tree is coming up though, because I'm having a really hard time reframing this, honestly. It's like for humans, sure, you know, you got the lumber from chopping down the tree and now you have a sitting stool, but what about the tree? You know, what about the tree? What does the tree get from this interaction? Interesting. I'm gonna just leave that there. Interesting. And maybe that is the new energy or the new passion that's coming in. It's just more awareness of our actions, perhaps. More awareness and consideration of other people. I can resonate with this personally. Not to say that I've been completely unaware of other people, but I definitely feel like there have been times when I was a bit more reckless. And I want to be better for myself and for others. So perhaps that's the energy that's coming in. It's just more awareness of our actions. Two of Wands talks all about choosing between a risky situation and one that we're more familiar with. It's interesting that this butterfly is like sitting on the perch. I'm realizing y'all can't see these cards very well. It's so many. The butterfly is like sitting on a perch between indoors and outdoors. And so, and then I'm being guided to look at the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is going quickly in the direction of this Two of Wands. I'm kind of getting shit or get off the pot energy. Even though we're considering others more, there's like a lot less hesitation now. Something has become very clear. Maybe previously, this is also like 3 in a row, so I guess this is where we are supposed to go. Maybe previously, we may have felt confused, like we didn't really know what to choose, we didn't know where to go, but something has become very clear. And if you haven't already decided to move towards this more if you haven't felt the clarity, that's definitely coming in with this Knight of Swords. But I feel like a lot of us have maybe felt pretty clear, but maybe not, because I'm also noticing like all of the clouds in this background here. So maybe not. Maybe that was not very clear at all. And maybe we're deciding that we don't need clarity. We just need to go ahead and do it. Maybe it's like, I'm still not sure what I'm supposed to. Okay, I have a perfect example for this actually. which I haven't decided to go forth, but this is just kind of the energy I'm getting. Y'all know I've been contemplating and trying to decide whether or not to do OnlyFans, and like I had pretty much decided to do it, right? And that's fine. I still kind of have, but it's like now the content is shifting, and a lot of the content that I was gonna say for OnlyFans I'm actually bringing over to YouTube. And so now it's like, so what do I do OnlyFans for? Like, what is that specific platform for? What will I do over there? So if this were in regards to OnlyFans for me, it would basically be the energy of me just being like, you know what? I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm going over there and figure it out. Which, like, I have set up a profile and everything, but I don't actually have content over there because I'm trying to figure it out. So it's some sort of energy like that. Like, instead of waiting on clarity to come, we're just going for it. For a lot of us, we are getting the clarity as we do the thing. For a lot of us, we're getting the clarity before we do the thing. But this Two of Wands is definitely the tension. It's definitely the, that feels scary, but I can't let it go. That feels a little like I don't know enough about that, but I can't let the idea go, you know? That's what it is. And so for a lot of us, this Knight of Swords just purely represents clarity. Definitely a lot of fast action, a lot of inspiration coming through. With the Five of Wands over here, there's definitely like some tension. It's interesting though, because this is the most peaceful form of tension. This might just be more like inner turmoil, which can honestly be some of the worst. Like if it's external stuff, at least you can like get away from other people, you know, if that's what it is. But when it's internal, it's almost a little harder to deal with. I feel like I don't know enough about this animal to be getting what I'm supposed to get from this card. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh shoot, is that a skunk? Sorry, the image was looking a little weird from where I was. That's what the guidebook is for. We will just reference our resources here. We don't have to struggle. Oh, it's a badger. When I'm dealing with animal decks, I realize I don't know shit about the animal kingdom. I'm seeing 1313 on the camera. You know what? Let me just read this card. Let me just read this card. It's autumn and large burrs fall from a chestnut tree, ready to open and present their fruit. A badger advances slowly and tenaciously. He scans the ground, being careful not to prick himself while looking for food. Within the landscape of the Five of Wands, you can find great wealth accompanied by obstacles and difficulties. To enjoy the fruit, you must avoid the prickles of the burrs, and yet it is thanks to them that the fruit is ripe. In this arcana, you are invited to value diversity and to recognize episodes of tension as opportunities to grow. I'm so glad I read the book because I was struggling to make sense of that. And I feel like that's just like nail on the head. Exactly. With all of this inspiration and information and clarity coming through, it can create some tension because it's like you're becoming clear of your direction, which means you're obviously moving away from certain circumstances, people, structures that you have been aligned with at some point, or maybe you came into contact with at some point. But it's like the more clear you get on your direction and yourself, it becomes a little harder to keep up those facades with other people around us. But like that card said, you can't come to this point of ripening yourself. Like you can't come to this point of having grown so much without having gone through those different connections and opportunities, without having gone through the jungle, right? Otherwise, you would still be on the other side of it. You'd still be a newbie. You'd still be more naive. You'd still have less sense of self. I'm seeing 1515 as well as 1441 on the camera. So yeah, we're getting very clear. I'm also getting the Judgment card. That's kind of the energy of this entire reading, as far as what we're keeping. Last thing is the Six of Swords. And that's kind of tying into what I just said about, it's like as you get more clear on self, you realize that your direction is going to pull you away. that clarity is going to pull you away from other things that are no longer aligned, or maybe they were never aligned, but you couldn't see that. I'm getting something about can't see the forest for the trees. Couldn't see the bigger picture. I'm getting individuals, like this one person, this one job, this one circumstance, this one thing. You're starting to realize how it's all connected. Coming back to that Three of Wands, you're starting to realize how it's all leading you in a very specific direction. But with that level of clarity comes a need to actually move in the direction that you're being guided. And that movement is going to immediately put you at odds with people who are moving in the opposite direction. It doesn't mean you have to be enemies. It doesn't mean you have to fight them or battle them or anything like that. But maybe people who you thought you would be close to, you realize, yeah, no, I can't be close to you. I can't. We're just going in different directions. We can coexist. We don't have to have beef, but we just naturally are inclined in different directions, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, there's calmer waters with the Six of Swords. That's basically what it talks about. How it's getting you out of turbulent energy into something more, I just got cohesive. Yeah, I guess getting you out of turbulent waters into something more cohesive. Something, it's interesting that the word calmer doesn't necessarily want to come through, even though that is what the Six of Swords usually talks about. It talks about moving from turbulence into calm. So for some of us, things actually might get more chaotic, but like in a good way. We might get more busy. It might not be calm at all. And Pocahontas has been coming up a lot. I need to rewatch that movie, apparently. But that scene where she's responding to her dad, the chief, after he's walked away. And she's like, he wants me to be calm like the river. And then something pops out of the river, some sort of animal. Again, I don't know shit about animals, apparently. But she's like, it's not calm at all. The river isn't calm at all. And so I'm kind of getting that energy with this Six of Swords, is that it's not calmer, but it is more cohesive. It's more aligned with who you naturally are. Very beautiful energy here. Very beautiful energy. So I hope this helps you set some intentions if you're using it for your magical work. Or using it as confirmation or whatever, however you want to use this. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you how to use this reading. So that's kind of what I'm getting as far as what we're moving toward, what we're keeping. Let's talk about what we're getting rid of. All right, so for some reason, I do feel inclined to keep these, but then I don't want to get things mixed up. So we're just going to move up. That's what we're going to do. All right, so we have the Seven of Pentacles. I kind of like that as something we're getting rid of or moving away from. The Sun, interesting. Moving away from the Sun. Temperance. This obviously was not shuffled very well. Knight of Wands. Okay. And Ace of Swords. I just got Good Life by Kanye. There's definitely some idea. Okay, historically we may have had an idea of what we wanted, and the closer we got to it, we realized we didn't really want that at all. That's a big thing that's coming through with these cards that flipped over as far as what we're leaving behind or what we're walking away from. It's like we're letting go of the idea or the fantasy or the assumption that we want something that we haven't even come into contact with. This is like when we're 18 and they're asking us what we want to do for a living, and we're like, oh, I want to be a lawyer. And then we finally go to law school, and then we intern, and then we maybe even become a lawyer just to realize we didn't want that shit at all. That's the sort of energy that this is giving. It's like everything that we thought would make us happy, everything that we thought was the good life, it was calm, it was good. That's what we're walking away from overall. So let's get into these specific cards. Seven of Pentacles, like I said, I'm okay with us being rid of that energy, because Seven of Pentacles talks about putting in the work but not seeing the reward. I've also seen, for me specifically, in working with the Chief of Shields, if y'all have been on my channel, y'all already know. But I've also seen where Seven of Pentacles can talk about coming into contact with like tangible items and not actually using them, not actually, so it's kind of like some hoarding energy kind of that comes up with Seven of Pentacles sometimes. Yeah, coming into contact with these different tangible items or these different experiences and not interacting with it in any other way outside of buying it, you know, outside of purchasing the thing. We don't really interact with it. It's so funny because even this tarot deck, you guys, I bought this back in March 2025. Why is today, what's today? Today is July 16th, 2026, and I just broke this baby open. Why? Look, the dog ain't happy with that either. Like, why? Why am I just not opening this? So this is the energy we're getting away from. This could be like the sense of not seeing a reward for the work that we're putting in. But this is also the sense of us just hoarding stuff or not using stuff for their intended purpose. Like because I've always intended to use this deck on the channel, but it took a whole year and 3 months for me to finally do it. Or what, a year and 4 months for me to finally do it. So that's the energy we're moving away from. All of this hurry up and wait, all of this frenzied, anxiety-based shopping, all of this FOMO. It's like we're getting away from that. We're getting away from that. Something about the nervous system is coming up a lot with Seven of Pentacles. So maybe we're like learning about our nervous system and like being less reactive, more proactive. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles comes with a lot of delays, and we are not delaying, which makes sense based off of what we're keeping with all of the wands and swords. Yeah, there's no time for delays. The Sun, Temperance, Knight of Wands, and Ace of Swords. To be clear, this is basically what I already said, but I'm just going to go a bit more in detail. We're moving away from the idea of how things should be with the Sun and Temperance, even how we should be. With the Sun and Temperance, these are major arcana. And the Sun, it's almost giving Hierophant energy here. Both of these. The Sun in this case is kind of coming through as like ego, or our idea, our vision. And Temperance is coming through as like the fight that we've had in trying to make that vision happen. So for example, obviously I have a tarot channel. It's a very spiritual channel. And I have struggled. I know it looks like I've only been doing tarot on this channel since, I don't know, maybe last year, 2025. I deleted a lot of my original content from like 2022, I think, is when I got back on YouTube, 2022, 2023. I deleted a lot of that because I just knew it wasn't really resonating. And even though I love pick-a-cards, I feel like it's not really where I thrive. But for the longest time, I had a really hard time with that. It took a long time for me to decide to just switch up my channel. And that's more so what this Knight of Wands and Ace of Swords is kind of talking about. It's like, historically, Knight of Wands takes action. You see how what is this? Fox? We're going to say a fox. I don't really know what that is. But you see how quickly it's moving? Historically, that was me moving towards everything that I thought a tarot channel should be. Everything that I thought it should look like. So every idea I had was already kind of based. For some reason, this shadow part of the iceberg is calling to me now. It was kind of based in this preconceived notion of what tarot readers do on YouTube. And that, I feel, is what I'm getting away from. I'm getting away from the preconceived notion. And these days, I'm just going where I'm guided. So y'all, if you take a quick scroll through my channel, You will see makeup content. You will see product reviews. You will see tarot tells, where I'm basically telling stories based off of tarot. You will see deck reviews. You will see any and everything in a way, hopefully, that I am able to relate it back to tarot. So yeah, that is the vibe. And I'm loving that. I'm really loving that. And so that's this energy with this Knight of Wands and Ace of Swords, getting out of the shadow side a little bit. It's having the idea and going for it, regardless of what it should look like, regardless of, you know, how is it going to work? How am I going to market it? Yeah, it's getting rid of that. Getting rid of that preconceived notion and just going where I'm guided is really the energy here. Another thing, so this is my first time doing a trash can spread. And so what's coming through is that this doesn't necessarily have to be what we're walking away from, but maybe what's hidden from us right now. Interesting that Seven of Pentacles came up too, because that is kind of the energy of Seven of Pentacles. It's like what's hidden from us right now, but what we're moving toward. But it could also just be like the energy that is lying underneath. Like, because I can't say that this is irrelevant to me right now. I don't know about you guys, but this Knight of Wands, Ace of Swords energy, this is the energy of having the idea and going towards it. No shame, balls to the wall. That's that energy, and I definitely feel that for me. So I don't feel like I'm moving away from that. I certainly hope not. I feel like it's been really good. So perhaps when it's just folded over like that, that's the energy that is maybe hidden from us, or it could just be energy that we don't even have to talk about, because that's what we're moving toward. That's what we're doing. So I think that is all I'm getting from these cards. The what we're walking away from, the flipped cards were a lot easier to read than the first. They were a lot quicker to read, I'll say that, than the first set. So take this however you will. Take it how it resonates. This is my first time doing a trash can spread, so you know, we're only going to get better as we keep doing this. But in any case, I hope this message helped. I hope it resonated. I definitely look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. However you want to support is really appreciated, because I do want to do this full time. And any little thing, even your time here that you've already given me, it's really helpful. So that being said, I'm going to leave you guys to go about your day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Until then, soul searchers.